How's it going? Not bad.
Sean, no turnover bucket today. Was that because it was a walkthrough, or why didn't they?
Oh, they dunked one in there. You didn't see?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you missed it. You missed it. He didn't bring it out on the field, but he dunked one in the back.
Yeah, Tayshaun just tossed one
Yeah.
to Justin's feet, so.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not that's not my expertise of decorating the turnover bucket. Whatever the guys want to use, they'll be able to use.
With the regular season closing, how are you feeling about the way your vision is gelling with what the guys are coming together doing right now?
I'm happy with where we're at. I think there's still plenty of areas for improvement from a coaching perspective and a player perspective, but we're still in the middle of training camp right now. We still got whatever 10 or 15 practices left of training camp, so I'm happy with where we're at, right, to be in the middle of it right now.
Based on what the guys tell us, you've gotten buy-in from across the board. What do you think the key was to getting that level of buy-in and trust in you?
To me, it's about relationships, and you try to be authentic with how you talk to these guys and approach them, and then you got to stick to your word. As a leader, I got to stick to my word, and hopefully they feel that, and I think they're starting to feel that, and they know that when it's business time, and when there's certain expectations and standards, and everybody's going to be held to those same standards, and I think they appreciate that, and I think we got to, the job is to continue to keep growing it. We're not there yet.
So do you think the emphasis on takeaways has translated to practice so far?
I think so. I mean, that's for you guys to judge. I'm just happy that the guys are at least conscious aware of it. That they're trying to go attack the ball. They're understanding when they can go attack the ball because you can't get one on every play. They're just not going to throw one to you at every play. But when you're making a tackle, you can try to be aware of it. But at certain costs, right? You can't miss tackles. You can't do that stuff. So you got to do the basics first, and then when you have an opportunity, you try targeting on the ball as much as you can.
And I know you're obviously emphasizing takeaways with everyone, but have you worked on anything specifically with him after he made a lot of plays last year but didn't get any interceptions going forward into this year?
Yeah, me personally, no. I mean, just instead of besides challenging him, but I think Deshae, Coach Deshae has, and Pops and Ronell are in that room, and they've all kind of emphasized it, and I've emphasized it with him, and quite honestly, he's taken that role, and he's accepted that challenge, and he's worked on it, and you see the fruits of that. When guys make it a conscious effort to do and improve a certain technique of their game, they're going to get better at it, and that's what he's doing.
What can you do as a coordinator to get more out of Eddie Jackson than as a safeties coach?
I just think out of Eddie and really everybody, everybody wants to be a high producer, and that's good. You want guys on that defense that want to be high producers, and so with Eddie in particular, the same thing. Just be real thoughtful of where he is on the field. Be real thoughtful about how people are trying to attack us on defense, and try to get him in some spots that he can use his skills to the best of his ability. That helps our defense.
But to what extent did you kind of have a plan for him? 'Cause obviously he's a key guy, and he wasn't as productive last year as he was previously. Without giving details, but what do you have a plan? What kind of plan did you have?
Yeah, we've got plans for everybody, and he's one of them. And the production part for last year, I know he's not content with it, but quite honestly, he got a couple pick sixes taken away also by a penalty. So, when you just look at the stats for anybody after the fact, you forget the reality of what the tape said. And so he was not getting targeted as much, and so we got some ideas for him to be a little bit more active towards the ball, and I know he wants to be more active towards the ball, and some of those things, they just have to come to everybody too, and he'll have plenty of opportunities, and we'll be very conscious on how we use him and put him in spots that he can go attack the ball.
Sean?
Guys like Mel Ogletree and Artie Burns, older guys who've been around a little bit, they state their cases to make this move.
So I missed the beginning of that.
What have you seen from Artie Burns and Alec Ogletree as they state their cases, being veteran guys to make this team at this point in their careers?
Yeah, I think like everybody else, both those guys being veteran guys, they've bought in, and they're really focusing on the techniques that we need to improve on, that they need to improve on, and they're doing it. They've both been really diligent at it, and accepting the coaching from Coach McGovern and Deshae again in the DB room. They're accepting that coaching and understanding that we need certain things, certain levels of their play need to improve, and they've both responded really well to that.
Sean, we see the intensity from you each day in practice. How's that evolved from when you came in, young in the building, to where your role is now?
Yeah, I think it's ever evolving, and when you're in different roles, sometimes you gotta kind of fit into how your role is within the organization, and you got to do that. That's part of being in those roles. And then when you get to some different roles, you kind of adapt and keep adjusting that way. And so right now, the energy level is a little bit different because I'm responsible for all the coaches and the players on the field. Not just one guy or one position group or no guys. When you're a QC, you're responsible for the scout team. So in whatever role you got to be able to bring the energy that the people that you're working with can respond to. So I'm responsible for more people.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sean. And people who talked about Robert Quinn, coaches, teammates, talk about how he's hard enough on himself. He's kind of his own critic. And when you coach a player like that, what is the coaching strategy to bring the best out of him? Is it to not join him in criticizing him? Is it to point out what you see and then go positive? How do you treat him differently? Because Matt said today, you treat everybody the same and different at the same time.
That's right, and I think Coach is right about that. I think one thing I would contend with the question is, coaching is not criticism. So we're not here to be critical of anybody. We're here to teach them and develop them, and everybody can get taught and developed. And Robert is a great example because he's as humble as they come, and he knows where he feels like he needs to get better, and he knows where we feel like he needs to get better. And Coach Shuey's doing a great job of doing that, and we're on the same page. He's on the same page as Coach Shuey and myself and all those guys. So this is not about criticism. If you're in coaching to criticize, I think you're in the wrong profession. You need to be in coaching to teach.
Sean, you're going to have at least 5 starters that are 30 or older. Has it been your experience that they should still be able to play at their peaks at that age? And then as a follow-up, how is that going to affect your rotations watching their snap count?
Yeah, I think, when you talk about the age thing, my experience has been very varied and diverse in this league with that. And it's really up to the individual player and how they prepare their bodies and their minds for the game. And each player is very different in what they need to do to get ready for a game in a longer season. And our guys are more veteran guys have responded really well, and they all understand that. And so our strategies, the expectation is still the expectation for whatever role and whatever age. We're not changing expectations because somebody's younger or older.
So you won't be watching their snap counts because of their age?
Well, that, I think you manage that for everybody on an individual basis, regardless of age. It's based on performance and how they're playing in the game. So I think age is one factor only, but it's not the only or the deciding factor.
Sean, when we were talking to Robert Quinn yesterday, he was talking about how he feels like he's in a better mental headspace than he was last year. I was just wondering, what have you seen from him in that regard?
He's just been extremely humble, really grateful, taking advantage of all the opportunities, taking in all the coaching, and you see him. For a guy that's a veteran guy that's aging, his effort is unbelievable every day. His play speed is unbelievable every day. He just goes at one speed, and that's what you want all your players to be. And he's a great model because he's got some stripes on the wall to be able to do that, to bring that effort every day when he's able to go.
Sean, how's the dynamic with Mike Pettit evolved since he got in with you? And do you have any examples of ways where he's kind of tweaked something with his scheme or brought something to you that helped you out at some point?
Yeah, no examples, just because we're not sharing those. But Mike's been great. He's been a great resource, just like all the other assistants have. He's bought into the role and the assignments that every coach we have on our defensive staff knows exactly what the expectation is from their roles, and he's bought into that and embraced it, and he's been a tremendous resource for myself and really the rest of the staff. And you see him out there. He's helping at whatever position that, we give him that day, and he's, up there drawing cards with all of us. He's doing everything that an assistant coach would be doing. So it's been great to have him.
Ron, you've been here the entire time Akeem's been here. I'm curious, as you've learned him, what you've learned about the best way to push his buttons to get the best out of Akeem.
Yeah, Akeem, again, I think most guys respond to authentic conversations. Most guys respond to knowing that you got their back, and most guys respond to high standards, and Akeem is the epitome of that. He's got a high standard for himself in terms of the level of play that he wants, and he has that high standard for his coaching. He wants to be coached at a hard and high level, and Coach Rumpf is doing a great job with that. And I'm there to assist in any way I can, but He wants people to be real with him, and we are that. He knows that from me because I've got a longer relationship with him than most others on the staff, and I think he's been really a pleasure this whole offseason, or this whole in-season.
How much in the early stages of your transition to this role was just learning the personalities of all the guys that you're going to have to work with?
I think that's been ongoing. I've been here, this is my 9th year, so that's part of my process. From when I was a QC, it was in different roles, to the safeties coach. I was always trying to engage and learn and observe, and now you get a chance to enact the things that you've kind of believed in. And so that's been ongoing, and obviously I continue to do it. It doesn't stop. It's an everyday process. I'm still learning about these guys, and they're still learning about me.
John, with regard to Quinn, do you feel like you've unlocked whatever it was that's holding him back? He mentioned he's in a better mental state, maybe that's a key factor, but do you feel like with what you're doing and with where he's at, that you've unlocked whatever it was that was holding him back last year, or is that just a huge X factor coming in?
No, I'm not sure if it's been unlocked. I think we're all working towards the goals that he wants to achieve and that we want to achieve as a defense together, and we're all on the same page. And Coach Shuey's been tremendous with him and working with him to develop the plan that we want for him to respond to. And Robert's been awesome in terms of responding and embracing that challenge for this year.
When Roquan was out, in what ways did he stay engaged during practice? And I imagine the meetings were the same as always.
You said,
Roquan?
yeah.
When he was out, how did he stay engaged?
Oh, how?
Yeah.
How? Well, the good ones find a way. And he finds a way, he finds a way. He wants a script. He wants to know the calls on every play, and he's challenging himself to see the game from a different perspective, which is a hard thing to do. When you're on the sideline, it can get kind of dull sometimes. But he's engaged. He's seen the blocking schemes. He's seen where the pass routes and pickups need to be picked up. So he's seen the game at a bigger level, and that's a credit to him because he's a sponge. He just wants more information, more technique, more detail, and Coach McGovern's been giving it to him, and we've been giving it to him, and he's responded really well.
It seemed like Eddie was kind of doing the same thing early in camp when he was out. Like he almost looked like he was another coach out
That's
there
right.
with you. How did that help him? Because it seemed like once he got back out there on the field, he was like full go.
That's right. And I think that, that's been a philosophy that Coach Nagy, and we're trying to get through with all these guys that if they're out or for whatever reason, if they're not practicing, that they're continually locked in during practice. And you saw it with Eddie, you see it with Roquan, you see it with all the guys, Danny Trevathan, all these guys that have maybe not been able to practice every day, they're engaged. And they are, we're challenging them to coach on the field. I mean, that's their job, right, is to help develop the other guys. And then what that does in turn is it keeps their mind sharp. So when they get back on the practice field, they're as sharp because they know what the standard is. There's nobody that's slowing down for anybody or waiting on anybody here. We keep pushing forward towards achieving our standard, and that's what it is.
Coach, you had an interaction yesterday with Thomas Graham. You were coaching him up about how he finished a particular play. He wanted to give you his reasoning for why he did it. You weren't having any of it, right? But then you also noticed that it kind of was still with him as we were heading to the next play. And you went, hey, next play, next play, next play. How do you kind of balance that with coaching guys up, but making sure, hey, that's over, let's go to the next thing?
Storming in here. How do we balance that? Well, that's part of coaching and playing. That's part of coaching is they got to be able to accept the feedback in a moment. And when you're on game day, there's literally moments that you got to be able to adjust and accept that feedback. And the way you can do that is you built a relationship with your coach and your peers, your players. You built a trust level so you know what that person's telling you. And you can trust that what that person's telling you is in the best interest for you and for the team, quite frankly, at the moment. And then you got to accept it, and then the next play's coming up here in a quick second. And so you need to be able to process and get back to your basics, your fundamentals, your techniques, your assignments, and be ready to play the next play. And we talk about that all the time, is just snapping clear. Once the play's over, however good or however bad it was, it really doesn't matter because the next play is the most important one.
What's been your evaluation of Thomas Graham so far?
I'm sorry?
Thomas Graham, what's been your evaluation of him so far?
Oh, he's a rookie. He's doing good. He's doing good. He's trying to compete out there. He's trying to make some plays on the ball, and he knows the spots that we need him to continue to develop at, just like all rookies. It's a fast transition into this league.
Sean, I know,
He's developing.
I'm sorry. I know Peters is the other side of the ball, but I'm curious, what kind of impact do you think might come to your guys from a likely Hall of Famer who I think is older than you? It's,
Yeah, I mean, God, was he 19 years now, 18 years in the league? we're going to wait and see, but everything I've heard about him has been awesome in terms of the person that he brings to the locker room, and obviously to have another veteran presence like that around is just a resource for everybody, for myself included. I mean, he's been through a lot of games in this league and won a lot of games in this league and had a lot of defeats in this league, so we can all learn from his experiences, and I think that's valuable.
Thanks, Sean.
How does it feel to get back to work, Brooklyn?
It feels great, be back out there with my teammates, out a little bit, but not too long. Can't hold me down forever,
Brooklyn, how did you lock in while you were out? How did you kind of stay involved?
It's a job at the end of the day. We all here to do one thing. That's to play, that's to play ball. So at the end of the day, that's your job, and you just have to keep the main thing, and avoid the distractions.
Have you learned previous years when you've had to be sidelined for whatever reason, the ways to best stay engaged while you're hurt?
I would say that's just, paying attention, still attentive in meetings, taking notes like I normally do, regardless if I'm on the field or not on the field, and then just more so giving my all, more so doing mental strain as opposed to physical strain and mental strain.
Is that something that you did your rookie year, or is that something you learn as you get older?
I feel like that's something you learn after a while. It's not something you just come in with. Some may do, but I wouldn't say that for myself, so it's definitely something I picked up on along the way.
Brooklyn, you're near the top of your profession right now, but what are you looking for, hoping to be the next evolution in your game?
I'm just more so going out, looking to get better in each and every way I can, whether that's pass rush, coverage, block protection, whatever that may be. Just going out, finding little ways to get better.
Was there any specific area that you focused on more than the others this offseason, or?
I wouldn't say there was a particular area. I feel like when I'm more so working on things, like even things that I consider myself good at, I still work on those things as well, just to even improve those things better, because you can never be great at, every single thing every day. So that kind of, so.
Roquan, how are you seeing Sean's defense come together now that you've had, 3 or so weeks out there in camp?
I like it, man. I think it's a lot of guys flying around, running to the ball, and when you get guys running around to the ball, good things tend to happen. So it's a good feeling.
Is his emphasis on takeaways manifesting itself in practice? Are you seeing that pick up more from previous years?
Oh, he definitely coaches it and preaches it, and it's about actually going out there and living it. So it's easier said than done, but it's definitely a focal point.
What was your impression of Alec Ogletree stepping in and, the first couple of days the ball found him, a couple times a day?
Yeah, no, the guy's out there making plays, see why he's been in the league as long as he's been. So tip my hat off to him, a veteran, come in, doing the right thing, don't say much, but come out, work hard each and every day. So got a lot of respect for him.
You said he's been doing this a long time. Has he been able to help you in any way? Is there any thing that's happened that, he's pointed something out that you've seen a new way?
Well, see, basically when he got here, I was kind of out for a little bit, so it wasn't like I was having those on-field interactions with him, but now we was out there today getting some work in together, so it was good just being able to chop it up, seeing how we view ball and things of that nature.
Do you have a previous relationship with him at all?
Well, he went to Georgia, but we was never there together, so used to chat here and there, but it wasn't like we were super close or anything like that.
What are your impressions seeing Sean's passion on the sidelines during practice? Were you caught off guard by that at all?
Not really. He has some passion to him, like all of us do, and so he shows it, and that's good to have when your DC showing a lot of excitement for when guys make plays and things of that nature.
You guys feed off that?
Oh yeah, you definitely feed off that and feeding off each other. So I think it's all a joint effort.
And when you think back to the 2018 season and the defense was really rolling, what was the vibe like there for the defense?
It was just having fun. I would say it was just more so going out each and every day, not taking a practice, not taking a day for granted, and just having fun with each other and just enjoying each other's company.
How happy are you for Darius Leonard?
I didn't hear you.
How happy are you for Darius Leonard?
Oh, I'm happy for anybody. Him, Warner, all those guys. You know, the contracts they've getting, they've earned them. So tip my hat off to those guys and happy for them and their families.
Sets the bar, right?
That's what they call it.
Roquan, do you not have an agent?
Pardon?
Do you have an agent?
I don't at the moment.
How do you negotiate a contract in theory without an agent? Do you have a lawyer or what?
I haven't gotten there, so I'll get there when I get there.
Represent yourself?
I'll get there when I get there.
How is the team speed on offense kind of helped you guys as a defense going into this season? It's the fastest Bears offense we've seen around here in some years. How's that helped you guys as a defense?
Oh, no, it definitely helps us send a lot of those flying guys out there like Bird, Goodwin, and whatnot, and, you know, having Allen as well. So just having all those guys out there definitely give us a lot of speed to look at because you're not seeing 4 or 3 guys like that on a week-in and week-out basis. So I definitely think it's good to see that as a defense.
Roquan, Matt has mentioned several times the last few weeks that the energy is real, what we're seeing, you guys flying around. Do you notice any different this year? What is different this year?
I would just say, man, we playing with passion out there. So guys going out, you know, like we have nothing to lose, going out, doing what we need to do to get the job done and just finding ways to get better each and every day. And I think, you know, holding each other accountable and just pushing each other to the limits. And I think when you do that, something special can happen.
I know your focus is on the defensive side of the ball, but do you pay attention to the excitement around Justin and everything on the sidelines and in Soldier Field for him?
You hear stuff definitely for sure, but my job is defense, so I try to control what I can control and not focus too much on the O because they have jobs just like I do.
Thank you, Roquan. How's it going?
Well, what's been your impressions as Coach Rumph so far?
Oh man, he's been great. You know, Coach Rumph is a guy that's gonna shoot it to you straight. He gonna tell you how it is, but at the same time, you know, he got a lot of personality. So you know, he not the type that's gonna you know, talk down on you, try to cuss you out, none of that. He honestly tries to get you to understand and look at things from a different view. And you know, I love that about him. You know, and he's done nothing but help me get better. You know, so I'm truly appreciative of him.
Like a particular interest in you and your development. Just watching him coach, he's always like with you, he brings you to his side all the time. Do you kind of feel like he has certain expectations of you that he's like being especially attentive to everything you do?
Well, I think he know what it is I want to accomplish, and he gonna push me, you know, to get that goal. You know, back in OTAs, me and Coach Rumph had a lot of, you know, conversations just about what it was that I wanted to accomplish, what it was that I wanted, you know, for myself, and you know, expectations, and you know, he just hold me to it, and you know, that's something I appreciate. You need somebody like that, you know, somebody that's gonna tell you right or wrong, you know, gonna keep it real with you.
What is it that you want to accomplish?
I want to win a championship. I want to win a Super Bowl. You know, I want to be a top caliber player in this league. You know, I want to be, you know, I want to be the guy. You know, and you know, that's always been me since I was a little kid. You know, I just want to be the best version of me possible.
What does it take to get there?
Everything I've been doing plus more, even more hard work. You know, even more grind. You know, continuing to just be a sponge and soak up and learn everything it is that, you know, I have the opportunity to learn. I got so many great players around me. You know, I got Akeem, I got Khalil, I got Eddie G. You know, I got so many great players, you know, Eddie Jackson. So just being a sponge and just soaking it all in, these are all guys that's proven in this league and, you know, top players at their position. And, you know, I just try to take from them and just learn.
Well, follow-up to that is when you're out on the field or meeting rooms or locker room, whatever, are you still one of the youngsters, or are you now one of the vets that the real youngsters are coming to?
Yeah, I transitioned. I didn't transition to a guy where, you know, young guys come to me, and, you know, it's a good feeling. You know, it's a good feeling because, you know, I paid my dues, you know, I put in the work, I'm still putting in the work, And, you know, I want younger guys to be able to feel like they can come to me. I want younger guys to look at me as if, you know, I'm a leader, because I feel like I am. And, you know, I'm a lead by example type of guy. And, you know, that makes me feel proud and make me feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Well, one of those younger guys is Tonga, who's gotten a lot of reps, obviously, with Eddie out. What have you noticed about him, and what can he kind of bring for you guys?
Oh, he's a hard worker. You know, Tonga is, you know, everything, you know, I love about a player. You know, he's tough, he's physical, he want to learn, he's eager to learn. And, you know, when you got guys like that, you know, it's easy for you to just, you know, take them under your wing. You know, he reminds me a lot of myself when I was a rookie. You know, just always asking questions, always asking how he can get better. And, you know, I like that about him a lot.
Well, from our vantage point, Akeem Hicks is a little bit of a mystery. You know, he won't talk to us, and he left practice the other day with no explanation. On the field, is his persona any different this year for you guys than it was? Do you notice any change in him? Is anything up with him?
I mean, I think we all know Akeem is a dog. You know, he's a dog, top player in his position. You know, he's an unbelievable player. You know, he come in every day. He work hard. What you see, what you gonna get with Akeem. He's been a hard worker ever since he came in the league, and he's still the same way. You know, he's a guy, you know, that he gonna bring it every day.
Even after all the years in the league, does he have more of a chip on his shoulder this year than before, or is there something driving him, something motivating him?
Akeem is always gonna give you his all. You know, it don't matter what year it is for him. It don't matter what, you know, how old he may be. He gonna give you everything he got, because that's how he was brought up, and he don't know no different. And, you know, that's how I want to be. I want to bring it every day just like him.
Between the scheme and then kind of the energy, what has Sean Desai brought to this defense in terms of differences or things that you notice?
He got us real juiced up. You know, Coach Desai, he's done an amazing job. You know, some of the stuff that he come up with, you know, I sit back, I look at it, I'm like, wow. You know, how did you come up with that? You know, he's just, you know, I call him the mastermind. You know, he always coming up with, you know, crazy schemes and ideas, and I love it. You know, it just give us some juice.
You got Eddie, King, Mac, you. Obviously, the offensive line can't double team all of you guys. Do you anticipate in getting more one-on-one situations, and do you take it personal if they're like, Bilal's the one we're going to block one-on-one?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I anticipate on getting one-on-ones because, like you said, we got those type of guys, and yeah, I'm going to take it offensive. You know, me personally, I feel like, you know, I'm the type of player where, you know, I'm not going to let nobody block me one-on-one. And that's just that. And if I do, then I don't need to be here. So.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
What's up, y'all doing?
Have you thought about what it's gonna be like seeing Mitch in a different jersey on Saturday?
I thought about it a little bit. It's gonna be fun though. You know, Mitch is my guy. We came in together, so I'm just excited to go up against him.
Hey, when you think back to 2018, you had your best year individually, the defense was playing at an elite level. What do you remember about sort of the collective energy that you guys had as a group on game days and what it felt like in that stretch?
It was just high. It was just really high. That's something we focus on getting back right now. I feel like it's there. New team, new faces, new schemes, things like that. So we just decided to go out there week one.
How much of it back then was rooted in sort of Vic's preparation and your trust in the guy that was at the controls of everything?
I mean, that was kind of a big part, but, you know, that was then. You know, this is now. So that's behind us. You know, we can't, get that back. New coach, like I said, new schemes. And that's our main focus right now is just trying to get back to that, the defense getting turnovers and the playmakers start making plays again.
It feels like Sean has earned the trust of guys. Why do you think that is, that there's this growing level of trust and confidence in who he is?
Just him being around, knowing the players, knowing the guys, the strengths, the weaknesses, and everyone just rallies to Sean. He's a good, genuine dude, so I feel like everyone trusts him more when he says something, when he go out there and call a play, you really don't second guess it. It's just him, being that backbone for when Vic was here. He knows his stuff. It's not just a guy that just came in and he's just talking. It's proven that he knows his stuff.
And when you're out there in practice, I know it's early, but can you feel any kind of buzz? Is the buzz any different for you personally when you're out there about your optimism with this defense that things are going to change, that things are going to change, or is it just optimism at this point that you won't see until the games? Is there anything you feel out there when you're out there practicing that gives you even more confidence that?
The energy. I say the energy, especially the energy we bring on defense right now. It's like everyone's just clicking together. Everyone's flying around making plays, especially us in the back end. We're doing a lot of different things with scheme, fun things. So just excited, and we just decided to go out there week one and just put it all to show. You got the preseason games for us to, knock some rust off. The young guys go in there and, try to learn and get some experience. So for us, we just waiting on week one.
Frankly, is that rooted in just natural optimism that you always have at the beginning of every season, or is that a difference from like the past?
Nah, I say it's a difference, because like I said, 2 years, 2018, that's all we keep hearing as a defense, and that's all they keep showing us. So it's like we tired of that, it's time to get back to how we know how to play. And right now, everybody's just open-minded. And like I said, everyone's flying around. Like if you out there to watch it, you should be able to feel the energy, on both sides of the ball.
You worked obviously closely with Sean the last few years. Is there anything you admire or appreciate seeing him leading the defense that maybe you saw the last couple of years that others didn't?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I'm proud of Sean, how far he came. The work he's put in, and just him as to be a D coordinator now, just sitting in the meeting with him and him breaking down coverages or offenses, and just knowing the type of plays, the type of schemes that he has in his mind, and now for him to be able to put that on display, in his own creative way is kind of amazing. And like I said, man, we just ready for week one. We very open-minded. Everyone's energy is high. We was just ready to go out there and prove ourselves.
How much of Vic do you see in Sean?
You see quite a bit. He's a guy. I say the only thing different is he speaks a little more. He teaches more lessons about off the field, about egos and stuff like that. But play scheme wise, it's some similarities in that.
Remember you watching the draft on Instagram. What did you think of Justin Fields' first performance?
Oh man, it's a sight to see. You can tell he's gonna have a very great career here. He's a young guy. I mean, he brings a lot to the team. Already. And he probably doesn't even know it. He fires guys up. For him to go out there and make those plays, just to see how excited everyone is for him, it just shows you what he means to this team.
When you first came in on the sideline, could you tell that you and your teammates were all really curious to kind of watch the show and see what he could do?
Oh yeah. I mean, everyone was out their seats. Everyone was locked in when they seen her Justin going in. And like I said, I was a fan of him in college. I watched him when they played against Alabama. I watched a few games when they played against Clemson. So I was already a fan. But just to see what he's doing on this level, it's exciting. I think he's gonna have a very great career.
You weren't a fan of his when they played Alabama.
I mean, not when they play Alabama. I'm not a fan of nobody when they play Alabama. It could be my own cousin. I'm a root for Bama. you know. But I definitely was a fan of him in college, though.
Eddie, when you're on the sideline and you're watching him take a broken play and turn it into a 21-yard run or an 8-yard touchdown, what does that do for the entire sideline, knowing that, especially on defense, when you realize, hey, I don't have to go back out there?
It turn you up, man. You turn you up. Like I said, everyone gets excited. He's electrifying. You know, he's just excited to watch. You know, it's just one of those players you just sit on the side like, oh, what's he gonna do next? And him, the pocket awareness, his mobility is what keeps everyone on their toes. So.
You talked about wanting to be like one of the all-time greats. You've also had one of the biggest things they're going to evaluate when your career is over is how many touchdowns you've had. A lot of those taken away from you on questionable calls. Do you think about that in the moment, like y'all are really messing up my Hall of Fame resume type stuff?
Man, to be honest, truthful, man, I'd lie to say if I didn't. But, I mean, at the time, I def did. You know, I try not to look too far in the future. You know, but when things like that happen, it's like, oh, man, you know, it's crazy. Then it happens again. It's like, oh, man, what's going on? But right now, man, that's the focus, is to go get them back this year. You know, just make them pay and just let them know they can't stop what's meant. And, you know, my teammates, my coaches, everyone's behind me 100% with that. And I just love that everyone's behind me and they feel what I feel when it comes to that. Because
How many have they taken from you?
3. Yeah, 3 in 2 years. I had, what, 7? Yeah, I have 6 right now.
Eddie, Tayshaun was in here yesterday or the day before, and he's talking about what he sees in Jalen and his growth. I'm curious from your standpoint, where you see him taking the next steps.
Talking about JJ? Tree? Oh, yeah. Oh, Tree, man. That's, whew. Tree going to have a big year this year. You can see it, just his approach, his mindset, his work ethic. If you just pay attention to everything, you know, he's taking that next step as a leader. You know, if I'm quiet over there, he come on, fo, wake up, fo. You know, even though I'm locked in, you just stuff like that and how he approaches practice. You know, he approaches practice like it's a game. He's breaking on balls. He's not taking a rep off. And when you see a guy like that age, you know, going into your second career and, you know, him having an injury last year, so he feel like he has to work 2 times harder. And I seen the work he's put in, you know, outside the building, off the field. I feel like he's going to have a very big year this and a great career.
What has grabbed you about the other cornerback spot? About the performance of the guys on the other side?
Man, I feel like our DB room is full of talent. Everyone's competing. It's a friendly competition. You know, no one's salty or feel no type of way. Everyone's just competing. You know, playing together, flying around, and I feel like that right now that's what we need. You know, and Coach DT always preaches us the guys who can play any position is the guys who can win a spot. So I feel like everyone's open-minded to playing nickel, safety, corner. You know, if you pay attention to practice, we have corners at safety, you have nickels at corner. Everyone's just moving around and just open to playing whatever position, and that's so special when you can have that in one room and knowing you fighting and competing with the next guy, but still treat him like he your brother and not feeling no type of way. That's something special.
You talked with Mitch. Obviously, you came in same draft class together, played with here for a number of years now. What can a fresh start do for him now, moving on to a new team and that next phase of his career?
I feel like he could put all this behind him. You know, outside of football, that's still my guy. That's still my brother, man, and I want the best for him and his family. Him going there, you know, taking this next step, this next new chapter in his life is something I feel like he's going to learn from. You know, he can put all this stuff behind him and prove people wrong. You know, Mitch, you know, had a lot of people against him, so right now he's just turning the critics into fans, you know, as I would say. So I feel like this is a good start for him.
Do you think coming back to Chicago is a step toward kind of putting all that behind him?
I mean, going against us, I mean, you know, I'm not going to say it's the best start, but it's a good start. It's a good start. Like I said, man, that's my guy, man. But it's a good start for him, a new chapter in his life that he can, you know, he can start over, flip the script and start over. But, you know, this weekend, like I said, I don't care if you my cousin, my brother, you line up on the other side, we're going to give you that work. So he got it coming to him for sure.
Thanks, Eddie.
Have a good one.
Take care.